Imagine it's 1933. Unemployment is at 25. Banks are collapsing. Families are scraping by on pennies a day. And yet, through grit, creativity, and sheer necessity, people survived. They wasted nothing, repurposed everything, and developed money-saving habits that, nearly a century later, are still powerful, still practical, and maybe more relevant than ever. In today's world of inflation, sky-high rent, and shrinking paychecks, it turns out our grandparents and great-grandparents have a lot to teach us. So let's rewind time and explore the money-saving habits from the Great Depression. Frugal, brilliant, and surprisingly useful today. Stretch every meal. During the Depression, every scrap of food counted. Families learned how to stretch ingredients into multiple meals. Bones became broth. Stale bread became pudding or breadcrumbs. Leftovers were remade into casseroles or soups. Real-life example. One woman, Eleanor from Kansas, remembers her mother saving bacon grease to fry potatoes and using old vegetable water to flavor soup. We didn't throw anything out, not even the potato skins. Modern tip: batch cook and repurpose meals. A roast chicken today becomes chicken salad tomorrow and soup the day after. Repair instead of replace. Shoes, clothes, appliances, people fixed them. They didn't toss things because of a small tear or a missing button. Pants were patched, socks darned, radios rewired. YouTube is full of mending tutorials now, but back then, kids learned it by age 10. And it saved families hundreds over the years. Want to save in 2025? Learn basic hand sewing, glue gun repairs, and appliance maintenance. It pays off. Reuse everything literally. Tinfoil? Washed and flattened. Jars became cups or pantry storage. Newspapers? Used for cleaning windows or insulation. Use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. That wasn't a saying. It was a lifestyle. Modern twist. Save containers, reuse shipping boxes, repurpose candles into new ones. It's old-school frugality with an eco-friendly bonus. Hand-me-down culture. Before fast fashion, kids wore hand-me-downs from older siblings or cousins. Clothes were made to last and altered as needed. Today, with rising costs of kids' clothing, the hand-me-down approach is genius, especially if you combine it with thrift stores or online resale groups. Real example. A family in Alberta runs a clothing co-op with 4 other families, rotating bins of kids' clothes by size. They've spent less than $100 on clothes in 2 years. Rainwater collection and gray water use. During droughts and water rationing, people collected rainwater in barrels and reused bathwater for flushing toilets or watering plants. In parts of North America today, families save hundreds annually doing the same, especially in places with water meters. Bonus, some cities even offer rebates for rain barrels. It's not just frugal, it's smart policy. Cook from scratch always. There was no Uber Eats, no microwave meals. People knew how to make bread, stew, pie crusts, and preserves from scratch. It saved money, reduced waste, and fostered deep self-reliance. Today, learning to cook 5 go-to budget meals from scratch can save thousands. Beans, rice, lentils, pasta, soup, simple, filling, and cheap. DIY laundry detergent and soap. During the Depression, families made their own soap with lye and animal fat, or used bar soap for dishes, laundry, and bathing. Today's DIY laundry detergent uses washing soda, borax, and grated soap. It's dirt cheap and surprisingly effective. Real example. One woman in Ohio reported saving $260 a year switching to homemade detergent, and her clothes actually smelled better. Use natural light and go to bed earlier. Electricity was expensive, so families woke with the sun and went to bed earlier. They cooked before sundown. They read near windows. Today, reducing electricity use by just 15 to 20% by flipping lights off, unplugging chargers, and using daylight can cut utility bills by $200, $400 annually. Grow your own food, victory gardens. Even city dwellers grew tomatoes, lettuce, beans, and herbs in small plots or window boxes. It wasn't optional, it was survival. In modern times, raised garden beds or balcony herb gardens can still shave $30, $60 a month off your grocery bill. And the satisfaction? Priceless. Make do with what you have. If Grandma didn't have a rolling pin, she used a wine bottle. No baby crib? She lined a drawer with blankets. This kind of creative adaptation saved money and taught resilience. Modern frugal hack. Repurpose furniture, turn jars into light fixtures, or reuse old shirts as cleaning cloths. Pinterest is full of ideas, but Grandma did it first. Canning, preserving, and bulk buying. Canning wasn't a hobby, it was survival. People bought bulk produce when it was cheap and preserved it for winter. Today's equivalent? Freeze fruit when it's in season. Buy pantry staples in bulk from warehouse clubs. Preserve your own sauces or soups. Real-life example. In Oregon, a woman bought 25 cloves of garlic for $15 and canned garlic paste for the year. That's over $300 saved versus store-bought. Bartering and trading cash was scarce, so neighbors traded eggs for flour, mending for firewood, or babysitting for baked goods. Modern version. Join a buy-nothing group or local barter club. Trade what you can do or make. It's community-based frugality at its best. Cleaning with what you already have, no need for 10 specialty cleaners. Grandma used vinegar, baking soda, soap, and rags. Vinegar for windows, baking soda for sinks, soap for everything else. It worked then. It works now. And it costs pennies. Avoiding debt like the plague. After losing everything in bank collapses, many depression survivors developed an iron rule. Never spend money you don't have. They saved for what they wanted. They avoided credit. They planned purchases with envelopes of cash. This habit is rare today, but reviving even 10% of it could save families from cycles of debt, late fees, and anxiety. Milk it for all it's worth. They watered down milk to make it last, used sour milk in baking, made butter stretch by blending it with water or flour. Real example. A TikTok chef recreated a Depression-era mock apple pie made from Ritz crackers instead of fruit, because that's what they had. Was it weird? Yes, but clever, incredibly. Everything had a second life. Old clothes became rags. Rags became patches. Patches became quilts. Grandma's quilt? It wasn't for aesthetics. It was made of her kids' old pajamas. Modern tip. Cut up t-shirts into cleaning rags. Repurpose old sheets into reusable grocery bags. It's not just thrifty, it's meaningful. Travel smart or stay local. Gas was precious. Cars were rare. Vacations were staycations. Families walked, biked, took trains only when necessary. Modern tip. Plan no-spend weekends, explore local parks, bike to nearby cafes, or swap house sits with a friend. A fun time doesn't have to cost a dime. Entertainment was free or homemade. They played cards, sang together, told stories, played outside. No subscriptions, no in-app purchases, no Amazon carts. Today, try reviving one old-school entertainment night per week. Board games, story time, baking together. It saves money and builds bonds. Washing and reusing everything. Ziploc bags didn't exist. If something was washable, it got reused. Even aluminum foil was washed and flattened. Real-life example. Depression survivor. Mary in Chicago saved every bread bag, rubber band, and twist tie. Her granddaughter says she still has a drawer full, 70 years later. Make food taste better with less. They couldn't afford fancy sauces or processed snacks, so they used onions, herbs, bacon grease, salt, and sugar in careful balance. Flavor mattered, but frugality mattered more. That's why Depression-era meals were built around cheap staples like beans, potatoes, cabbage, cornmeal, eggs when available. Modern hack. Master 2-3. Humble ingredients and get creative with flavor. It's cheaper than ordering out, and oddly satisfying. Turn scraps into something new. One of the most creative money-saving skills of the Great Depression was scrap transformation. Worn-out sheets became pillowcases, dresses became aprons, cardboard boxes became drawer organizers. Real-life example. One Michigan grandmother sewed tote bags from flour sacks, and decades later, her granddaughter still uses them for groceries. Modern takeaway. Repurposing doesn't require Pinterest-level skills. Even saving buttons, zippers, or fabric from old clothes can reduce what you spend at the store. Weatherproof everything. Frugal insulation. To stay warm in winter and cool in summer, Depression-era families didn't rely on central heating. They insulated windows with rags, towels, newspapers, and even plastic bags. Drafty door? Roll up a towel and shove it underneath. Windows rattling? Tape newspaper around the frame. Modern tip. Weatherproofing can still cut $200, $400 a year in energy bills. Even sealing gaps with removable caulking or felt strips makes a difference, and it's cheap. Cut your own hair or trade with a friend. Barbershops were a luxury. Moms cut their kids' hair. Teen girls traded trims, and men learned to buzz their own heads. One man in Oklahoma said his dad gave him a bowl cut using an actual ceramic mixing bowl. Not pretty, but free. Modern tip. Learn 1-2 basic haircuts via YouTube tutorials or trade services with a friend. Over a year, this can save hundreds. Homemade gifts from the heart. When money was tight, gifts were handmade but deeply thoughtful. Embroidered handkerchiefs, knitted scarves, handwritten recipe books, carved wooden toys. Real story. A grandmother in Nova Scotia made sock puppets for all 5 of her grandkids. Today, those puppets sit in shadow boxes, priceless heirlooms from a Christmas where the family had only $4 to spend. Frugal gifts often outlast expensive ones because they carry meaning. Boil rags for disinfection. Before disposable wipes, people boiled their rags in big pots to disinfect them. This removed grime, stains, and bacteria without buying a single cleaning product. Today's equivalent? Wash dishcloths with vinegar, hang in the sun, and reuse them for months. Bonus, sunlight naturally bleaches and sanitizes fabrics. Zero cost. Regrow kitchen scraps. Depression families instinctively regrew what they could. Green onions in a cup of water. Lettuce from the stem base. Potatoes from old sprouts. Celery from the root bottom. Real-life example. A woman in 1930s Chicago kept a tiny box garden on her apartment fire escape. She grew scallions and herbs just from trimmings and saved several dollars a month, back when that meant everything. Today, regrowing from scraps is a TikTok trend, but Grandma did it first. Use one product for everything. Back then, families didn't need 15 bottles of cleaners. They often had 1 bar of soap and used it for bathing, washing dishes, cleaning counters. Laundry real frugal tip. Today, a bottle of Castile soap or baking soda can still replace dozens of products. One minimalist couple in Vancouver reports saving $500 a year by switching to all-in-one products plus DIY cleaners. Keep a rainy day fund, even if it's small. In the Great Depression, saving wasn't optional. It was critical survival. Even pennies were tucked into envelopes. Many people had cash hidden in envelopes, jars, or coffee tins, for emergencies only. Real practice. One great-grandfather kept a quarter hidden inside a candlestick, just in case someone needed milk. Modern twist. Automate tiny savings. Apps like Capital or CoHO help you save a few dollars per transaction. Over time, it adds up, just like Grandpa's tin. Make do with half as much shampoo. They used half. Toothpaste? A pea-sized dab. Butter? Spread thin and slow. Depression-era families learned to stretch everything. Modern hack. Track how long it takes to finish basic products. Can you reduce usage by 20%? You might not notice a difference, except on your receipts. Keep every container. Coffee tins, glass jars, butter tubs, cloth sacks, all saved, washed, and reused. Real story. One grandmother had 47 butter containers stored under her sink and used them all during holidays to send food home with guests. Today, reuse saves money and reduces waste. And it's exactly how frugal households operate. Keep a ledger. Many households kept detailed ledgers, listing every penny in and out, from bread to barber. These weren't optional. They were necessary for survival. In 2025, this habit is making a comeback. Bullet journals, budget binders, expense tracking apps. One frugal mom from Ontario tracks every single transaction. It's like my money can't sneak away when I'm watching it. Borrow instead of buy no lawnmower. Need a dress? Swap with a friend. Need a drill? Ask the neighbor. Depression-era neighborhoods had tool libraries before the phrase existed. Modern tip. Search your city for tool shares, costume swaps, or Facebook lending groups. Most items we buy are used only once or twice. Make one-pot meals the norm. No fridge homes meant one meal, one pot, one stove. Think. Cabbage stew, bean chili, lentil curry, potato hash. These meals were cheap, filling, easy to reheat, built for leftovers. Real story. A frugal YouTuber recreated his grandmother's depression casserole with rice, beans, breadcrumbs, and a spoonful of bacon fat. It fed 6 people for $3 total. Use flavor wisely. Without money for spices, people relied on a few staples: salt, onion, garlic, bacon fat, vinegar, sugar. And they mastered the art of layering flavor. Modern tip. Instead of buying 20 different sauces or rubs, learn how to build flavor with base aromatics. It reduces cost and makes you a better cook. Let's be honest, life today isn't easy. Groceries are up, rent is painful, wages feel stuck, and stress through the roof. But the habits from the Great Depression weren't just survival tactics. They were blueprints. Blueprints for resilience, ingenuity, gratitude, community. They didn't wait for governments or bailouts. They looked around and said, What can I do with what I already have? That mindset of adaptation, creativity, and grit is more valuable than any product on a shelf. So yes, boil your rags, patch your socks, grow herbs on your window, host board game nights, save butter containers, and track every dollar. Because when you do, you're not just being frugal. You're honoring the people who came before you, people who survived with less than we can even imagine. Which of these extended tips resonated most with you? Let us know in the comments and share your family's Great Depression story if you have one. And remember, frugality isn't about deprivation. It's about being resourceful and empowered.